Hey guys, welcome to the Tower Babble podcast. This is episode 10. This is the big 1-0. We're on to, double digits now. It's a big deal for me.
Sweet.
It's me and Jeremy down here today. Daniel's the one that's away this time. Eventually we'll get 3 people back. Maybe never. I don't know. Maybe it'll just be a rotating cast from now on.
At some point.
So we'll just start. We'll try to make this one a quick one, right? We don't want to be here down here too long. There's
not too much news.
On. There's a lot of, there's not much news like I was saying before we started recording here. TV news for us, there's only one really big thing. There's a lot of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff, but it was more just like cast interviews and like a poster that was revealed. I think that the date is now sometime in September 23rd or something like that is the premiere. But really what's big, what we care about here is The Flash is going to be a character on Arrow, and then he's going to get his own show spinning out of that. Which means that a couple things, that not only is the Arrow like hugely successful and it can spawn more shows out of it, but also that superpowers are going to be part of Arrow, which hasn't been a thing. And I don't know, that's just like exciting to me. Like, I'm a fan of Arrow. Have you watched the first season?
I didn't finish it, but I liked what I saw.
How far did you get?
Probably 10 episodes. It was like 20, isn't there?
Yeah, it's good. You should finish it.
No, yeah, I'm going to finish it.
Like, without spoiling what happens, like, the second, like, if you watch, don't watch, here's a spoiler warning, don't watch the trailer for season 2. It's, like, it just spoils everything from the first season.
Well, I know, like, characters that are coming up, like Deathstroke, like, there's a lot of Deathstroke.
Well, Deathstroke was in the first
yeah, but, like, I haven't got to him, like, in, like, a lot.
Okay.
So,
yeah, no, like,
I know he's a major part.
Some of the island stuff that takes place, the flashbacks,
stuff.
That's some of the best parts with the guy who plays Crixus, who's Deathstroke.
You don't ever see his face, though, do you?
Yeah, you do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So, turns out,
no,
they do some comic booky stuff, but whatever, right? It's fine. It's a comic book show. No, it's just exciting that they're going to have, like, the Flash and how they're going to do it with the TV budget.
Did they have Flash in Smallville?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think they had someone who was fast.
I don't think so, man.
Yeah. Look it up, man. They had Flash in Smallville.
I don't know. Look it up, but I don't think so.
Like, it was, I don't know, it was someone else who was fast, and, like, they'd have races, like, in the cornfields or whatever.
Well, it's possible because he didn't fly, right?
Yeah, they just ran fast, like, they raced. He just wore, like, a red jacket or something.
Oh, yeah, he was wearing a red sweater.
So, like, if they do it like that
Bart
sucks.
Allen.
Yeah, Bart Allen, so it's a take on it. Like, it was the cheesy, make your clips go faster kind of speed.
I don't think that they're gonna do it that way. I think they'll make it better. They're also
then they talked about the shared universe though between TV and movies.
Yeah,
with like the supposed Wonder Woman coming out.
People ask them about with the Wonder Woman show.
Is that Arrow and the Flash? Is that going to be
like into the movie? Like that would be cool. I think
it would be, but I don't know.
He's not really. I don't know if he's good. I don't know if he, as a television actor, has the chops to go in there and.
I think he can do the movie stuff.
Arrow.
I think it's fine. But I don't know if I want to see the Flash in TV land first before the movie, because the budget's not going to be as good. It's not going to look as good as the movie.
No, it's not. But I mean, that's what we got. Like, that's why I want to know how it works out.
I don't think they're connect. I don't think they're going to connect them.
I don't think they will either. They're just going to leave.
They keep saying
its own
stuff
thing.
like they are.
No, I mean they keep talking about Wonder Woman and it's
Wonder
still in the
Woman's
works.
Going to connect for some reason.
I don't know why. Why would they connect Wonder Woman show to movies but not the Flash?
Maybe that one's more out there or something.
Or maybe because they have more time to plan. Yeah. What did they say? That they're still working on like an Amazon or whatever show. Yeah. They had that. Have you ever seen the pilot for that old one? So bad.
I know, you say that all the time.
And it was terrible.
Well, it was low budget.
It wasn't just that. Like, just everything was crap. Like the whole the way they changed the character was terrible. Like she was essentially Bruce Wayne. She was like a rich millionaire who was a vigilante.
It just looks dumb when she's running around in the city in the stupid costume. They need to update it.
Yeah,
I think.
Well, she had the pants or whatever instead of a skirt, so that was a big deal. And then they put that. Did she wear pants in the New 52? Sometimes, maybe.
In the beginning, she did. Then they fan outcry and they changed it back to the.
Why do people care? Pants. Who cares if she wears pants? That's dumb. I don't know. People are.
Should just be pants. It's. I mean, you're running around doing stuff.
You're not gonna be wearing a.
They're just really tight, like underwear, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a bathing suit kind of.
But there's incarnations where it could be like a gladiator type skirt.
Oh yeah,
which makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. But that's the big TV news, so there's not much to talk about with that, other than the fact that CW is like all in on superheroes. Like,
well, the Arrow did really good views, and so.
I mean, CW still's got the CW-ness about it, and we talked about last week. We weren't here, but like they renewed that show. Whose Line Is It Anyway? So that's coming back for a second season. Like, I'm really a fan of what they're doing. Just still got like that Pretty People doing cool stuff on CW. I don't know. It's fine. I like Pretty People, so I'm okay with that.
Like, a lot of people aren't, though.
Pretty People. They're just all their people they cast are just super good looking. Oh. And it's like this guy's supposed to be a bum.
Okay, but you're talking about Whose Line Is It Anyway? They're not pretty.
No, those people are not. No. Well, Aisha Tyler's pretty good looking. She's like 9 feet tall, but.
Oh, I was thinking about the actual guys who.
Colin Mockery. Yeah. There's some bald guy or the bald Canadian.
Yeah. Well, I guess we should touch on the Avengers a bit. I know you didn't write it down, but.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Well, Whedon said that the Avengers might, like the actual main characters might like seed their way in there every now and then. So
yeah, I read that. I think I read that last couple of days ago. That he was saying that
that'd be cool.
He's like, there's if he can fit that into their schedules, and it's like he's not gonna beg, but like if they can do it and they want to do it, he'll put them in.
That would just make it that much better, just seeing like a cameo.
Yeah, and then people are worried like, well, wouldn't having this big like movie star on the show detract from like everything else that's going on around there? And he's like, well, it kind of fits into the world. Like these are crazy super people.
Exactly.
It makes
celebrities
sense
within their world.
Exactly.
Anyways.
It makes sense that like these people would react in that way anyway.
Yeah.
So I would be like, that'd be so awesome. He talked about Samuel L. Jackson saying how he's like, he loves the character.
He wants to do it.
He wants to do it, but he's so busy all the time. He does like a movie like every week.
Yeah, pretty much.
Either way, I would love to see him. Samuel L. Jackson said he'd love to be back in Star Wars somehow, even though he died.
No.
No, you didn't like Mace Windu?
No, I didn't at all.
What? Actually,
it wasn't even that cool. Like, what did he even do?
He had a purple lightsaber.
Yeah, that's the only cool thing. He got defeated pretty easily.
So. Well, it wasn't his fault.
I know, but still.
I guess maybe they should have taken more than 3 Jedi.
All they would do was just sit in the council and just say no all the time. Or whatever.
Well, no, they should. Okay, it's just they should have taken more than 3 Jedi to take down the Sith Lord. That just 2 of them died instantly. Okay, then we'll go into movie stuff anyway.
We'll start with Avengers stuff then, I guess.
Well, I was going to start with Batman.
No, start with
Avengers stuff. What kind of Avengers stuff do you want to talk about?
Well, just the sequel, like Age of Ultron. He said Thanos is not going to be in it.
Yeah, he's not he was never supposed to be the villain.
Yeah, that's the story, pretty much.
Yeah, and he was going to be the villain. So he's obviously going to be the villain in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, or he's in it.
Yeah. What does that mean though? Does that mean he's like going to be over like more movies? Like maybe by Avengers 3 he'll be the main villain?
Yeah, I think that's what they're planning. Because why would he just toss them in there at the end credit scene? That's a huge Easter egg.
Yeah, like I don't understand. That makes no sense. But it does. I'm sure just to him. I mean, but
yeah, but Ultron is not as big as Thanos. So Thanos is huge. That can span.
Yeah, but Ultron's also pretty big too.
It's pretty big, but that's more just like an Avengers type thing. Yeah. Where Thanos can be the villain of like everything pretty much.
That's true. And then there's gonna be a new Thor trailer they just teased that recently. Tomorrow or the day after.
Trailer number 2 or something.
And they already we talked last week about like the scene they showed at Comic-Con where he gets his hand chopped off.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see that. I think I've said a million times that Thor is one of my favorites of the Phase 1.
Oh yeah, it's up there too, but I still like Captain America better, I think. I'm
excited. Captain America Winter Soldier looks so much fun.
We haven't even seen the trailer though.
No, I know.
It's gonna be good because it's modern day. He's working with S.H.I.E.L.D. now.
So there's like
new costume. He's got the
retro version on at one point.
Well,
too.
it's like he doesn't have that stupid costume from Avengers. It's like
it's got like it looks kind of like the one from the first movie.
No, it's the what's the Ultimate Universe? Whatever with the lines, with the star and then the lines coming out of it.
I thought the lines go down at the stomach area.
No, that's the retro one. The new the Ultimate version is the lines here.
Oh, okay.
You remember that one?
No. So it looks more like the Ultimates version.
He was just Steve Rogers in the Ultimate Universe at one point. Like he just had the blonde hair and no mask.
Yeah.
So he has that, and then now he's got the brown leather gloves, the brown boots. It's a mixture of both.
Well, I think at one point he puts on like his old like jacket or whatever.
Yeah, he's got a leather jacket in the movie too. I think.
Yeah, that's sweet. Cool. And he drives his Harley. And, yeah. But we know that Black Widow's gonna be in it. And have a bigger part. And we know about Falcon. So I mean,
maybe they'll have a romantic setup for that.
With what? Black Widow and the Falcon?
No, and Captain America.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Between who?
Black Widow and Captain America.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No. No. She's too much of a...
It's kind of been touched on a little bit here and there.
Where? When?
Just in the movies. Slightly.
I don't think so.
They've been like kind of partners.
That.
I don't know.
Because they're both soldier types, and they... I don't know. I could... Maybe. I've never been... I don't think it's ever been done in the comics, has it? With Widow.
No, for sure has. Pretty sure.
She's been around, is what you're saying?
Sure.
Is there anything else with Avengers that we want to talk about?
Well, I just said that the Age of Ultron is not necessarily... It's not an adaptation of the new comic line.
We talked about that.
And it might not even be... Like, it could be completely different.
It's not going to be at all the same. Yeah, the Age of Ultron story in the comics is all about time travel.
Ultron could be like... Who even knows if it's going to be a robot or like...
Well, it'll be a robot. But it'll be... They already said that it'll be... Well, they didn't say, but it's pretty obvious it's going to be
invented by Iron Man. How can the Avengers not take down a robot? Like, you know what I mean? Like...
What if he has an adamantium body?
I don't think... They probably can't even use the word adamantium.
Of course they can.
What do you mean?
Vibranium, whatever. Vibranium.
They can't use...
They can use vibranium.
Whatever. Sure.
There you go. But, you know, they can't... What are you saying? They can't use what? You're going to say?
Just the mutants or something like that. Yeah. They can't use the word mutant. Like, there's a lot of law, like...
Little, like, things like that they
can't say.
Well, if we're going to talk about, like, that whole split of the Marvel properties over multiple companies... One of the producers from the Amazing Spider-Man movies came out and said, well, I was asked about, like, maybe other Marvel characters popping up in the Spider-Man movies. And he said about, like, essentially that he doesn't want to touch on spoilers, quote unquote, and that, you know, he would love to see that happen and all that. Like, I don't know.
He just said he'd like to see that happen.
Yeah, no, but he said, like, I can't talk about it, like, that's spoiler stuff. And he's like, and that's more than just, I would like to see that happen. So... I mean, we already know they were going to put the Avengers Tower or the whatever is the other Avengers Tower.
So what are you thinking that means?
Like it means that I think they're
Spider-Man and the Avengers or whatever.
Maybe in Avengers 2 they'll be in there. We don't even know. Maybe that's the big like
or 3, or they can save them for 3.
That'd be the big tease at the end with because
then they would have to work out some sort of split like.
Yeah, but I mean, it makes sense.
That's the thing. If you have the Avengers and you have Spider-Man, it's not like a 50-50 split.
No, of course not. They would get a portion of it.
They're not even making the movie, right? They're just using the character.
It's kind of like Paramount was. Remember, Paramount for a while was the one, not publishing, but like, that's the word I'm looking for here. They're the ones that put out the movies into theaters and everything for the Marvel stuff. Good. And eventually they're not doing that anymore. And now... So no, Marvel owns that side as well, but they were only getting a piece of what Marvel was making off those movies.
I guess. So then they'd have to pay the actor too. So I don't. Yeah. It's complicated stuff, but maybe if
they can make it work. Yeah. I think that if you're gonna include
I wouldn't do it for 2. I'd do it for 3 because I think they're gonna stop at 3.
You're gonna stop it.
They're gonna stop. Yeah.
And they're gonna make Marvel movies for a long time. Man.
I know, but they.
You think they're slow down?
With Robert Downey Jr., he signed on to 2 and 3.
Yeah, but the whole thing with the Avengers is that their cast always changes.
Yeah, no, I'm saying like that's going to be... They're going to make 3, then they're going to make 4 like the next year. They're going to wait a bit. It's going to be a solid, crazy trilogy. Maybe Spider-Man will pop up if they can get that stuff. Do you think you
do Civil War in...
Yes, I think Civil War would be 3.
But then how do you do Thanos? Where do you do Thanos? Maybe not even in Avengers at all?
I don't know. I don't know. Infinity Gauntlet is his big thing.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Civil War just seems like it could happen.
I feel like you can do Civil War.
They already seeded it too. Maybe with, you do Maria Hill.
Yeah.
They already seeded it with her, like.
Yeah, not being trustworthy of like.
Yeah, she's made a bigger character in the movie, like she's.
Yeah, and we already know she's already in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. She's made a couple appearances apparently, but maybe for a Civil War movie, you don't do it as one movie. You do it as like, you know how you have 2 Marvel movies coming out each year? Yeah. You do it over like 2 years. It'd be like
I'd still like to take
Marvel's Captain America Civil War, Marvel's Thor Civil War 2, whatever.
That won't happen.
Or over a couple of movies.
That won't happen, man.
Why not?
It won't. It'll be teased in certain movies, like the storyline can thread through, but it's not going to be called Captain America Civil War.
Yeah, you don't call it that, but you maybe start saying you had stuff like
it'll just be thread through. It won't be like all these movies are Civil War.
No, I get. Okay,
they all have their individual stories.
But maybe in one of the earlier movies, you say like they talk about the introduction of like the bill that makes that splits everything up. But then
it happen in one of the movies, and then Captain America 3, Thor 2, it'll be seeded in. It won't be a main.
It'll be a smaller part, and then at the end of one of the movies, right before the Civil War one, there'll be some sort of big event, like the beginning of Civil War when there's like that like big explosion, and like all those kids die or whatever, that causes everything in Civil War to kind of take place, and that way if you have Spider-Man in there.
But there's other major events that have happened too. Like what was the recent one?
In the
Fearless
universe?
In the comic universe.
Something about
Fearless or something or whatever.
Anyway, that wasn't good though.
What was the one before that though? Where like Thor,
House
like
of M?
Thor world like came down and was like hovering.
Oh yeah, but that's.
What was that one called?
I don't think did it have its own name, or was that just something that happened?
I think it had its own name.
I don't remember. There was It was like
Siege,
Civil War,
yeah,
then
Siege. Siege, that was the one I'm thinking.
Well, that happened. That was just a spin-off from Civil War, essentially.
Yeah, but it was still a big event.
Yeah, but
either way, Joss Whedon, he's read them all. He knows all the stories. He could combine something and he can thread something else.
But like, I think if you want to do a Civil War movie, I think having Spider-Man there is important because he's like that whole big thing about him being unmasked. Like that's a major plot point, and like people stand on his side or on the other side. But
I think Captain America and Iron Man at odds again.
Yeah.
Because that's already happened in the first movie a bit, so.
But it's already established that they disagree.
But then they kind of came back together and they're buddies now. So I would wait for 3. I wouldn't do it.
No, you obviously don't do it before 3. Yeah. But then you have the whole problem with if Thanos isn't dealt with before 3, then where do you deal with him? Then I don't know.
Maybe he's just lying. Maybe he's going to be in 2. Like, who knows?
I think he'll play a bigger role in.
Because you don't just have one villain and then that's it. It's always.
Minor villain
one minor, someone behind the scenes, and you find out something else. Because we had Loki, and
in
Avengers.
Loki and
Loki was the main thing.
But then there's Hawkeye. Hawkeye was a part of like being a villain for a while.
But then you had the army. But then you realize that Thanos is behind that army because he promised them to him. Whatever.
Yeah.
So.
What else we got here? So the Sentinels. The singer tweeted out a picture.
You guys didn't talk about it last time?
No.
There was a photo before of the mask.
Yeah, it was just the head. Yeah. But now we know how big they are. So it's like him standing next to it.
They're not. I think they're not huge.
It's like a person's about up to the knee of a Sentinel. You stand like here. I'll show you a picture.
No, yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah. So have you seen
the what? Sorry.
Have you seen gone to the Trask Industries website thing?
Yeah, I've seen all the promo images of the company and what the Sentinels are for, like the media for it.
Yeah, it's cool, like the viral marketing.
Yeah, viral marketing. Sorry.
I'm excited, man.
No, yeah.
I know you haven't seen the Wolverine yet, and we talked again. You weren't here last week. We talked about the teaser, the stinger at the end of.
Right.
It's worth just that stinger.
Cool,
is worth
just say the
Do
stinger.
you want me to?
Don't tell me what it is. Just say, does it relate to X-Men First Class?
The First Class or the next? Or
the next one. Sorry.
Yeah, it relates to that. Okay. Yeah,
that's cool. I don't want to know about it.
Okay, I won't tell you.
But the design of them are cool, but I can't get over that middle chest piece. It looks like a vent.
Like a big fan.
It's like it's like a vent.
Well, yeah, it's cool.
Like you can just turn it and close the blinds. What is that thing?
So what? So they couldn't think of something to do for the
center because
part.
Isn't it just like a circle, like a yellow beam or orange beam?
Yeah, but you're not going to do an orange beam out the center.
I don't know.
I mean, I guess you can do Captain.
Come on, look at that thing.
I'm looking at it. It looks like those things in your car, the fans in your car that you move around if you want to don't want it to blow in your face.
The Wolverine tease aside, I don't think people understand how big this movie is going to be.
It's going to be crazy. It's going to fix all the problems that they did.
Yeah, but you have both casts from the original trilogy and First Class, which everyone loved. It's going to be huge. Every actor.
Do you think that people would be confused by having two people playing the same characters in the same movie?
No. Bryan Singer will be able to do a mirror, past and present. He'll
be able to make it obvious that he's this guy and he's this guy.
It'll be perfect. Brian's, I can't even believe he's back. That's
the
so best thing that could ever happen.
So he did X1 and X2, right?
Yes, two of the best superhero movies we've ever had.
X2 is so good.
Yeah, X-Men 2 is amazing, and now he's back. Sentinels are back. He watched the cartoons as a guideline when he made the first 2 movies. He watched all 5 seasons.
It's so crazy. So. Jim Lee's X-Men in the 90s inspired the cartoons that we love so much, which inspired the X-Men movies that we really enjoyed. It's all goes back to when comics were selling millions of copies each month just because the artists were on that book. Mm-hmm. That's nuts to me when you think of those little connections.
When he had that interview where he watched all 5 seasons, made notes, I was like, hey, this is the perfect person you want to direct this movie. And then with Joss Whedon as well, he's a comic book writer. Like,
yeah,
that's what you need. People who are like really like the original material and can adapt it and change it.
So I think something they're doing right in DC's with Zack Snyder, who likes comic books.
You can tell
he started with 300, which is a comic book adaptation, but he's not. I don't think he's not quite at that same level where he's like absolutely loves those characters in the DC universe.
I think he does. I don't think he's not. I don't think he's I can't say it for sure, but like I don't know how he is writing. Like, can he write full-fledged stories?
Is he
like,
the writer? No, it's
he's written stories. No, they're both writing together, and he's read. Like he said in that thing, he's been reading Superman comic books and Batman comic books, like The Dark Knight Returns. He's been reading that stuff, and he said it's not an adaptation of that, but it's something that's going to inspire it and influence it. So he looks like he's excited from that one Comic-Con press conference he had.
I have this thing, and I just want to show you this thing.
Well, he couldn't really say exactly what it was without spoiling the actual announcement about Batman being in it, right? So. That's good. And I don't know, Goyer, I guess he's just a really good writer. Like, he knows how to take something.
He has some funny dialogue stuff.
Sometimes, like but he knows how to take
a boy child.
Well, it just sounds more like a Regal.
I guess
person.
It's just so funny when you like. I remember thinking when
I couldn't wait to say it in the podcast.
I just remember like in the movie thinking like, man, that's funny. I just funny. He's like, we had a boy child.
I think most people just graze past that. He's just a person who can take the source material and kind of, take everything that's important and make it realistic and believable. So
I think
you got Zack Snyder in there who's going to write it with him. That he's going to infuse his action and whatnot.
Yeah. I think when you talk about Whedon, he's not only a student of the material. He knows everything there is to know.
He's a filmmaker,
but he's also a genius writer.
Yeah,
'cause, I've been started watching Buffy again. I love Dollhouse, which is short-lived.
Yeah, Firefly.
I haven't seen Firefly, but Daniel is in love with it.
Yeah, it's really good.
I had a little
rant.
Short.
It's on Netflix.
I posted it on our Facebook page, or our YouTube page, a little rant Dan had when we were having technical difficulties last week.
Rant about what?
He was ranting about Firefly and the movie and how it was canceled and how he was just so upset about it.
I remember we went to the Serenity movie, which is based on that. I think. He fell asleep. That's what.
So he went back and watched it, and he loves it now.
No, it's good stuff.
So that's on my list, and so and back to what we were saying is that I don't think I know that he's reading those books. He's just not as much of a student of that.
No, he's material. A filmmaker first, and Joss Whedon is a nerd
first,
comic book guy first. So who's adapted his skills and who can make films now. But I'm still glad we have Snyder. He did 300, Watchmen.
You loved Watchmen.
Yeah, I love Watchmen. Well, I love the book and the movie. I thought,
speaking of,
you're never gonna get a more faithful adaptation. And out of any director, he is the one person who can adapt a comic book directly
to from exact image to
moving
video,
images, right? So, which not people will agree it's not necessarily the best way to do it. But in certain circumstances, you want a little bit of that in your movies when it comes from a comic book. You want to see certain things.
Yeah, there's certain shots, especially in 300,
he
when he's
shots.
with the guy with the gold or whatever. His
every
eyes
shot,
or whatever. It's right from the comic book,
falling off the cliff, everything, all right off the cliff. So yeah, and then obviously you got Christopher Nolan in the background.
I don't know how much he'll be involved this time around.
I don't know. He loves Batman, so.
Yeah, he does.
I think Zack Snyder has the say on who gets casted, though.
He better.
He does. Well, Zack Snyder, he's great at casting. He knows, he casted Henry Cavill, right? That was his choice. So.
Yep, and so we know that was another movie thing we have. So we have rumors already about who's possibly cast as Batman, and
the rumors are they want a older Batman.
Yeah, 30 to 40. He's not starting his career. He's well established in Gotham. He's been there for a while, and he's been fighting crime for a long time. He's not just out of.
Then that has to. Then it's a Superman sequel though.
Yeah, so he's not. He's a side.
So we have
to. Part of it.
We have to is it? They're gonna have to say, is it 2 years later after Man of Steel 1?
Oh,
because in Man of Steel they would have talked about Batman.
Not necessarily, because
I think they would have.
Because in a lot of the time, when you talk about the Justice League when the New 52 came, they did the Justice League. Mm-hmm. Batman was a myth or whatever, but he'd been fighting crime for 5 years already, and at that point. but he was only a myth to everyone else.
It was on a very small scale, though.
Yeah, just in Gotham. If you didn't live in Gotham, you didn't
think
really
about
know
it.
about
If you're
Batman
and an alien comes to Earth and all this shit's happening, you would want to be there.
Exactly. So this happened. Yeah. Now it's being addressed. The movie's gonna be called Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, we don't know that for sure.
Superman versus Batman.
I don't even know if they're gonna do that. I think they should do it for marketing purposes. Like a ton. Like this movie will make
so much money.
Insane amount of money.
I know.
Even just by the title alone, Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, huge. Even if it's not, even if it's only they're fighting for one little scene. Like,
it'll make so much money. So that's another point that we can discuss later.
I don't like that title. I didn't like it when they said that they've already decided. How do you already decide on the title of the movie? You haven't written the movie yet, but you have.
I think it was just to get people excited, and like that's the idea they want in the film is that it's going to be Batman versus Superman at one point. And they're taking a cue from Joss Whedon. You need your heroes if they're going to team up.
You need to fight first.
That's just and people think that's dumb, whatever. But that's cool. Like you need to show that they can
beat toe to toe with each other,
and
so
then
they prove that they can be next to each other. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like the scene in Avengers with Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America,
and they're like all standing like
because
panting.
Everyone thought Captain America sucked.
Yeah, and
like, he can't take care of him, or whatever. But no, he uses his strengths, which is his shield,
and his smarts.
Yeah, and his agility and whatnot. So. And then even at one point he was like he wanted to fight Iron Man, where he's like put on the suit before
exactly.
Helicarrier got blown up.
And then he's whoa, put on the suit, and he's like, I'm going.
Because if they're fighting together, they need to be able to stand toe to toe with each other.
Yeah, and
obviously characters like Hawkeye and Black Widow don't necessarily need to because they don't actually have superpowers in them. But there's a little bit of that. They fight each other.
Yeah.
And like the Hulk's after her at one point, so.
Yeah, that seems cool. She's got a limp too. She couldn't even get away.
Shows her weakness.
The part. What part was it that? That's the only scene where you see her actual like she's actually scared out of her. You can see in her face she's scared for her life.
It's a scary scene. Like you don't even like because it's the first time you really see the Hulk
in that movie.
Yeah. And it's like very dark and like just she's the sounds.
She's like
he's just rampaging and just destroying everything. So and then Thor faces off against
everyone
Hulk.
Everyone fights each other in that movie. It's great. It's awesome. Like you don't even realize until you go back and watch it. Like
and like people they can't understand how Batman. I remember we talked about this on like Men. We've already had a realistic take on Batman. That's the perfect Batman to fit in the Man of Steel world. But if that's the case,
he doesn't fit against Superman in that world.
There's no way he can beat him.
No.
You know what I mean? So now you have to have a less realistic Batman.
Yeah,
even though the Superman movie is like a realistic alien sci-fi movie, Superman movie, the Batman's got to be a little notched up. It's got to be a bit more darker, a bit more mysterious, bigger, bulkier, right? So there's going to be a scene where they're fighting, but Batman has it all planned out. There's going to be lead-lined walls.
Yeah.
There's going to be holograms everywhere.
That's what's
going to happen in this movie.
Yeah,
and he knows, but the thing is, he knows Batman or Superman doesn't want to kill him. You know what I mean? He knows that, right? So that's another part of his plan when he goes up against him. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do.
Well, that's what people think. Like, well, Superman you'd always win, but like, and then a lot of like comic book fans always say, no, Superman or Batman always wins.
But then
no matter what.
In this movie, Clark Kent, Superman is not going to go and fly and kill Batman.
No, of course not.
So Batman, there's going to be a scene where they're going to test each other out. Batman's going to have it all set up, and then that's how it's going to go. Like, guaranteed.
And you'll have some sort of weakness.
What else
we haven't introduced Kryptonite yet. There'll be something that'll be...
or maybe like he learned about the whole planet
changing
atmosphere
thing and how
maybe
weakened him.
Maybe he'll have a device that can
like simulate the elements of Krypton.
Maybe he can trap him in some sort of chamber, then turn it on right away and do that. Something like that's gonna happen.
So you already have this world that Superman is very realistic Superman, but to do a Justice League movie, you need to comic booky things up a little bit because how do you have this girl that's from a mysterious island that no one has ever seen before, this Superman alien and this guy? How are they like the main parts?
That's
of it?
why
like, how does that work?
That's why Batman, like the Dark Knight trilogy, explained literally everything, how he made his costume, where it came from, the money, all that stuff, right?
Can't do that in this.
This is not going to happen anymore. He's just going to have the gadgets. He's just going to have the ship. He's going to have his suit that glides and flies, his grapple hooks, all that stuff. And it's all going to work perfectly.
And if
he's not going to fall. He's not going to stumble.
They need to have CG cape for Batman too. I think they did such a good job with... No. His cape was real in all the Dark Knight movies.
Well, in certain scenes, I'm sure when he's floating around and stuff, it's CG.
Yeah, probably. But like when he's fighting and it looks stupid and he's just standing there,
they'll be CG. They'll have a huge budget. The budget's going to be like, it's going to be the first budget that's going to be insane.
I love
that. The Justice League movie.
I love that like the Batman logo is very much inspired by the Dark Knight logo, like the fat.
I think that's why I don't think that's going to be the final logo.
It's kind of little. It seemed a little rushed to me.
They just tossed it on there. It looks different than what we've seen before, so that's new. So that's cool. But it's gonna be a different logo.
But if it's anything inspired by the way that Batman thinks and acts in The Dark Knight and the way Batman and Superman interact, that'll be the best movie I'll ever see.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm excited, but yeah, the casting's got to be right. Talked about this before.
So we haven't talked about. No, we haven't. We haven't talked about who's
like
cast.
Before recording or whatever.
Okay.
We both agree that we want a bigger,
someone more physically imposing.
Yeah, someone who might even look bigger than Superman, just by stature.
Yeah.
But still kind of similar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, but muscular and all that stuff. Nothing thin.
Strong jaw.
Yeah.
Like that's important.
And what was the names or whatever?
So they have so it was Josh Duhamel, Jude Law, Gerard Butler, Josh Brolin, John Hamm, Brad Pitt, and Ben Affleck, Jim Caviezel. Just to name a few.
Yeah, those are all they're okay, but out of all of them, when they said they wanted an older person, I did not like Josh Brolin. I cannot see him as Batman. I just can't. He doesn't have the voice. I think he's too old now at this point.
Okay.
I can't see him standing toe to toe with Henry Cavill. He's just too old and slow. I just can't see it. And then Gerard Butler, I can see just his accent. That's the only flaw, I think.
Yeah.
I don't even think he can do an American accent.
I just think he's never done one. Have you seen White House Down or whatever? Is he American in that? Because
have you seen it?
I haven't. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
I just assume that he actually has trouble doing it, so he just always does his little
Irish,
Scottish or Irish or whatever. But Zack Snyder worked him in 300. We know he can get ripped and shredded.
Yeah.
So he's
got that draw. If you can do a good, and there's linguists and if they have the budget, they can fix those kinds of things. You can be trained.
I'm okay with that. Ryan Gosling was another favorite. They said that. There's
no way. He just got a baby face.
He's a good actor, but
But just the face of a child, attached on a man's body. It's
and I would rather see him as Barry Allen, just because he's blonde and I think
we talked about this once before.
You can see him wearing the red suit and being all quick and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so we gonna get Jude Law? No. He's He's a huge comic book fan. He's got a tattoo of Rorschach somewhere on him, on his back.
Rorschach, really?
Yeah. Sweet. He's a really good actor.
It's a no for me though. No.
I
can envision these people, man. I can see the scenes in my head right now.
Where's Josh Duhamel from? He's
Transformers.
He's the guy. No.
Yeah.
He's the main army
guy.
He
drives Ironhide.
Okay, no. Go just cancel. We'll just get a couple names off here. Off the list right away. Yeah. Okay, so Josh Duhamel's no. Jude Law's a no. Gerard Butler's a maybe.
Yeah.
Josh Brolin's a no for you.
No.
He's a maybe for me.
Okay.
John Hamm.
Yes. Just because he's already been considered as Superman, people want him to play Superman.
How old is he now? I think he's one of the older ones on that
50,
list, right?
I think, but he's in his 40s for sure. I don't know. For this movie, I can't picture an older Batman in this role.
He has to be. It has not older 45. But
I'm thinking
a 35.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's but
it doesn't matter how old there actually is. You can make them look younger by makeup and all that kind of stuff.
No, they got to be physically fit, huge. 30-year-old, not 40 or over, man. John Hamm is 40 and over.
Josh
Brolin 40 and over. It's not gonna work.
Okay.
And if you want a Justice League movie out of this,
these
guys are gonna be so old by then.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. So we have so Jim Caviezel. He's pretty old. He's got
but he's just such a good actor. He can pull it off. He doesn't give a shit, and he can just be dark and grumpy and just.
You need that ability to be brooding and emote without saying a single word, but not have that stupid face that Bale had when he was in the mask.
He just had it because his nose. They just didn't fit around his nose properly.
I don't know why he always did that O face with his mouth.
That's just how he talked, because also he is not American, right? So he had to speak in a way to sound.
So not only
American.
did he change his accent, he had to change his accent and then put on that stupid voice.
Yeah, and the voice. The voice makes sense. It just he did it in the wrong way. Whereas you talk about the cartoon.
Yeah.
What's the actor? The voice actor?
God. He's the best
favorite person.
My favorite person of all time.
Anyways, he always talks about he's not a fan of what Christian Bale did. What he did was that his Batman voice was always a deep, kind of emotionless, normal voice, and that when he was Bruce Wayne, he high pitched it and made it sound younger and just careless.
It was more of like the way he spoke it, like by his like mannerisms and type of that, rather than like putting on like a trying to mask.
Yeah, no, his Batman
it's like a
voice,
different person.
His Batman voice was his voice, is what this actor said, the voice actor. And when he was Bruce Wayne, he purposefully made it high pitched and louder and careless.
I don't know how I can't remember his name. I'm really upset about this right now. I'm like looking through my notes here. I'm like, I can't remember his name.
Look it up on IMDb.
I shouldn't have to.
Okay, either way. So what? And then what was the other names for the characters? Or the actors they're considering. Ben Affleck.
So we had Ben Affleck.
I can see Ben Affleck.
You can see Ben Affleck after
just because he's a big guy and he's got a huge jaw.
But you said he was burnt out. He didn't like he was a bad like taste in his mouth after doing.
That's true, but then there was the rumor also that he was going to direct it too.
He was going to direct the Justice League. Yeah, but he turned it down.
I don't know if it was exactly like they offered to me and I turned it down. I don't think it was exactly like that. I think it was a rumor. I could see him as Batman. I don't know why, but then they have that guy who played Flash Thompson in the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
Joe Magnolia or something like that.
That's not on this one, but yeah, it's on the next one. Like there's
because
two.
Zack Snyder looked at him for Superman.
Yeah.
For the Man of Steel.
You like him.
He is the perfect body type for an age, in my opinion. A little bit like he's got gray hairs in his beard, but he has a huge jaw, big body.
You talk Jim Caviezel as well. You don't like Jim Caviezel?
No, we already talked about him. I said I do like him.
Okay, what about...
he's the one who I think is the most like Christian Bale. Like, if you were to pick someone to go with that kind of thing.
I can see that. He's that consummate actor type.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt, that's a no for you, right? That's a no for me, too. You can't see Batman through Brad Pitt. It's just Brad Pitt
that's the thing also. It's like, I'd actually like a more relatively unknown actor. Because Henry Cavill was an unknown actor, basically. Few, like, Immortals and
yeah, but like no one knew him as that guy.
Nothing huge. Brad Pitt, no. You don't want that.
No. So Bruce Timm is the guy who is the producer, right? And then they had Kevin Conroy as Batman.
Kevin Conroy, yeah. And then the Joe Magnolia guy, he's relatively unknown. He's in True Blood right now, but he's not a huge name, huge actor, right?
Have you watched True Blood, by the way?
No, I'm not going to watch it.
I'm never going to watch that show. But I just want a sick, like not just a Batman that just stands in one spot and punches people, and like one person at a time, which is what happened in the Dark Knight movies. I love those movies, but the fighting sucked.
It was okay. Sometimes I don't know. There were some fighting scenes that were good. Dark Knight Rise, they're really bad. Apparently.
I don't know why. What did they do wrong? I don't understand.
I just saw YouTube videos where they slowed it down. They said like no one hit this guy. This guy just stood there like that. I guess that kind of ruined it for me.
I guess. You don't have to watch a slow mo version to notice that it sucks.
But then another important thing is the Bruce Wayne aspect. We need a cool, suave Bruce Wayne. So
there hasn't been a cool Bruce Wayne since.
No, Christian Bale did it.
No, I know. I'm just kidding. I was gonna go say I was doing a Batman and Robin. What's his name? We're not on the ball today.
It always happens. Always forget names.
It's the worst Batman ever.
Yeah, people know.
we're not even gonna say his name because we hate it so much. We're not even gonna talk about it. I think we can move on from Batman. Although I love Batman.
But I did say in an earlier podcast when we talked about the Easter eggs for the Wayne Tower on the the Wayne logo, on the satellite. Is my idea for the sequel was that the appearance of Superman made Batman come out of the shadows, and then how they would join is that Superman is now global. I think he has to be.
Yeah.
And that
he's not just.
But he can't do everything, and Batman is the person with his Bruce Wayne side, with his money and connections and whatnot, and his Batman side can take care of the smaller things behind the scenes, like in the shadows, like the darker things.
Yeah, he's the one he's the mind, and he's the
So that aspect that I thought would come out, and I also said that maybe the appearance of Superman would kind of give birth to the Batman thing, but then that would change his origin story of his parents dying. But I think you still have that, and still have the Superman be kind of like the launching point, have Batman coming to the.
Well, we already know that it's not an origin story at all.
Yeah.
So
that stuff can be.
But I'm sure they'll touch on it, like a little flashback with the pearls. Always pearls.
Yeah. But for some reason, I think it makes sense for the whole Superman and the alien coming to Earth and whatnot for for Batman to really come out of the shadows and be in the forefront. And he's going to have to be if it's going to be him versus Superman.
Yeah.
Because who else is going to, kind of deal with Superman or find out what he's really about?
That's the whole thing. Is that the Batman, the greatest detective,
the
world's greatest detective.
So therefore, it's Batman and also Lex Luthor, who's obviously gonna be in this movie.
I think that has to. You've already teased LexCorp twice.
And like I told you, I think the other day, I can see it as the Dark Knight, how you had Two-Face, Joker, and Batman. Yeah. You have here Superman, Batman, and Lex Luthor. And
like Batman is technically maybe a villain for part of the movie.
Yeah.
In from Superman's perspective.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like I'm not really sure exactly what those three people, how they're going to interact or whose side is.
Well, we already talked about how the business for side, whatever, with Bruce Wayne, and then like the Superman side with whatever.
Yeah, exactly. But so that aspect, and
we already know. I don't think I'm just going to put this out there, but Lex Luthor probably was not going to have a giant purple suit to wear.
No, I think you will. I think that'd be cool.
A giant
purple
and
suit. Green. It'd be purple and green.
Purple and green suit. Giant purple green suit to fight Superman.
Well,
just punch him in the face. His face is already exposed.
No, he'll have like a shield generator thing this time around his head. But everyone thinks he's gonna have Metallo or whatever with the kryptonite and stuff.
Okay.
But that's pretty obvious thing to do.
They haven't done.
Well, that's the thing. The thing is, maybe Lex Luthor figured out some sort of algorithm based on the atmosphere.
He's supposed to be super smart.
Based on the atmospherical
anomaly,
thing
whatever
where he got all.
Is that giant ship still over in the corner, like over on the other side of the planet?
So something in that part of the movie, whatever, is gonna make him find kryptonite or discover it or make it or something.
Well, because you need. If you're doing Superman has to have some sort of weakness to bring it down to that level.
And if he's going to fight Lex Luthor and Batman,
he would literally kill them.
Yeah,
based on what we've seen
because we can't figure another way of them beating him unless Batman had his planned way of setting it all up.
Well, yeah, okay, but that's already given. Yeah, he has to have some
when
sort
it's just them, there's
got
to be kryptonite in there somehow, or some other villain that they find, or Metallo or whatever.
It has to be some sort of device, not necessarily like it could be a plot device that allows Superman either to have to hold back, just in some way, because maybe Lois is like being like in danger or whatever, but he has a way to bring Superman down to like a superhuman level.
I still think it's like a Loki and Army type thing where Lex Luthor's going to get something. It's not just going to be Lex versus Superman 101.
What do you mean? Like you'll have like backup?
Lex is going to have the Metallo robots or whatever or something.
He doesn't invent Metallo, by the way.
He doesn't invent him, but like he's always in the comics. He always works with them, or he always
because they both hate Superman.
Yeah. And then also casting for him, like I always say, Varro. Like you just watched Jack Reacher. I could see Varro from Spartacus being
Jack Reacher. Good movie, by the way. I really like that.
Can you see him?
So refreshing.
Can you see him as Lex Luthor?
Yeah.
Because he has the physical.
A little bit
physicality.
more. He's a little bit more like. I feel like he needs more wrinkles. Like he's just so young, you know.
But I'm fine with just starting young with everyone. I'm fine with that because I want.
But we already know that Batman's not going to be young, so you're going to have everyone else young, and Batman's going to be 35.
That is only rumor. What else did Latino?
They're casting for that age.
Doesn't matter. You don't know that for sure. They haven't said we're casting for 34-year-olds.
They said the rumors that they're casting for 30.
You just said rumor.
40-years.
It's a rumor.
Okay, but
what else did Latino reviews say back in the day?
They often are correct.
And what did they say? Christian Bale is going to team up. And
they did say that he might possibly come back.
Yeah,
but then Christian Bale came out and said, "I'm never coming back playing Batman."
So they're wrong. It's just a good story to say that. Okay?
Man, I wouldn't. Okay, here's the thing. I don't want them to drive up a truck of money to Christian Bale's house and dump it on his lawn and say, "I don't want him back as Batman."
No, that's not happening anymore. I was just making an argument for Latino Review and how they're not always right.
But they are often
all correct. Rumors right now and all speculation. You don't know if they exactly want a 40-year-old. So let's get over that.
Okay, but like.
But Lex Luthor, I'm fine with being older, but I don't mind him being young right now.
Okay, that's fine. But I mean, like, if he's so LexCorp is so established, he has to be at a certain age where the company has got to a certain crazy size.
He can inherit the company when he's 18, right?
From his dad.
From his dad.
Okay.
Well, I just know stuff from Smallville how his dad kind of.
Okay, I thought he was his own self-made man, but there's so many different versions of every character in the DCU, so it's hard to tell. So do you want to move on from Batman, Superman? Because we touched on that. We talked about that for a while.
Yeah.
We'll just do a couple of things here quick. So Ellen DeGeneres is going to be hosting the 86th Academy Awards.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
I don't like Ellen personally. I don't like her show. I find her to be annoying. But whatever. I don't really watch the full Academy Awards anyway.
I usually do.
But you're also a film student.
Yeah.
3 sequels to Avatar, not just 2. It's going to be a quadrilogy, which I don't even know if it's a word.
I think it's cool. I mean, Avatar is crazy. I think it's really good.
The most amount of money ever by a movie. It's the number one most.
Well, it's like what Avatar, Titanic, Dark Knight, something like that.
Yeah, it's like all. He's got the for number 1 and 2.
Yeah,
he does only. He's only made like 4 movies.
Yeah, James Cameron, I love him. Like Terminator 2 is like my favorite movie. One of my favorite movies, but Avatar is so huge really and magical, and like it just people love that movie. So
and that's the only movie it's still the only movie that's done 3D in a way.
Oh
that's
yeah,
like
it was amazing. Well, it's also one of the things because I think was it the first one we saw in 3D?
One of them, yeah, probably. Yeah. So it's hard to tell. It's hard to say go back and watch it now and be like, is it still really amazing?
Just seeing him like with the like in the beginning with like the water drop and how it goes into focus and it's 3D. I don't know if you remember that part. That was like one of the first 3D.
I remember more stuff like being in the jungle and like plant like foliage coming out and like the little like firefly type bugs.
Right.
Like,
well, the thing is that he shot it in 3D. It was shot.
A lot of movies now are like converted.
It's all converted, right? So, like if you're watching a 3D movie, you can take off your glasses certain scenes, and there's actually certain things on the screen that are still 2D or whatever.
Yeah.
Like the bushes, or things that are supposed to be in focus or out of focus, or the 3D part to make it pop.
Yeah. The depth of field.
Yeah. So whatever. I mean, that's whatever. But the one thing I can say from the story is that I am also disappointed in it because I want James Cameron to do other movies.
Well, speaking of Terminator, so all the movies are being filmed simultaneously, so that won't take up a lot of time.
That's what they do. Well, Matrix, they did that.
Yeah,
it took like
that was
4
only
years.
2 movies. This is 3.
Yeah, but it was 4 years still.
Yeah, okay, all right, fine. They did that with Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, that was like,
is it all 3 or just the last 2?
I think it was all of them.
Okay, yeah, and that took a long time.
Yeah, that was like 5 years at least.
So it'll be released, all filmed at once, and then each movie being released year after year starting in 2016.
Yeah.
But so we were talking about Terminator. You love Terminator 2. So the showrunner of Terminator, Sarah Connor Chronicles,
is going to be writing.
Is writing one of the scripts.
That's fine, and he knows the background. He's written the show, which is
being a showrunner is not like it's not not a Terminator like though. But he's like running a show is not easy.
He wrote the show, right? So he had to look at the movies and then find out what he could write. Extended universe kind of thing. So he knows.
He's actually writing fan fiction for a universe that exists.
So now he gets to go back into the main storyline, and
we're talking about Avatar right now, right?
Oh yeah, sorry. Is he writing Avatar or Terminator?
No. He's writing. Sarah Connor Chronicles was canceled a long time ago.
Yeah, no.
But he's writing
the Avatar movie. Okay, I thought you said he was writing a Terminator movie.
No.
Okay.
But we do know that there's a Terminator movie coming out with
Arnold Schwarzenegger might actually be in it.
Set in like the time of like after the last like Judgment Day.
Yeah.
When he's like.
Well, that's what Salvation was.
They're talking. Well, no, they're going to talk about like not Judgment Day, but like like Salvation. So you have. This human, so it's gonna be Arnold Schwarzenegger playing a human, and like he's like did something so incredible that they based the T-1000s or whatever.
But that doesn't make sense because he's old as.
Yeah, he's old as fuck.
He's like 60. I think he's like 70 years old now, man.
Yeah, I know. I don't understand it. Have you seen that one where he's like?
The Last Stand?
Yeah.
No.
I heard it wasn't good.
No, it's probably shitty. But there's another one coming out that looks pretty. Him and Stallone are in like a
The Breakout
movie. That could be cool.
Well, I mean.
It's cheesy, but
Stallone to me, I can't take him seriously.
I don't know. I don't agree with that. I love Stallone as a writer and filmmaker.
Yeah, I get it, but like, good. Man, he's got to chill out on the fucking like surgery. Like, he looks like his face is made of plastic.
I don't think he's had any surgery, man.
Of course he has. Look at his face.
He's like 66 years old.
Yeah, and his face looks like a face of a 35-year-old.
His face looked stupid. He always had that.
It's not a stupid face. It's like
he's always had the droopy eyes and the lazy lip or whatever. So now he's older, so it's magnified. But there's like for Expendables, he worked out like crazy. He has the most physically fit body for
a 65-year-old person.
Yeah, or older. Like it's crazy. So and he's rewriting all his classic movies. Did Rambo? He wants to do another Rambo.
I don't want to see another Rambo. The last one wasn't very good.
I thought it was okay.
It was pretty intense. I just remember that one scene where he's like in like that truck with that gun and like his heads are exploding and like.
One of the actors, one of the mercenaries in there played Lazarevich in Uncharted 2.
Really?
Yeah.
You little man.
And Lazarevich played the guy in Uncharted 3, by the way.
Which guy?
Like the cool, funny.
The new guy.
Yeah. The same voice actor.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I thought it was cool they included him as well.
I like that. It was cool that there was just like a new character that they just out of nowhere. It was just already a part of the group. Yeah. And they didn't have to like worry about establishing him or whatever. There's like little twists like is he part of it? Is he not?
I could be wrong with the same voice actor, but I'm pretty sure it is.
Okay. Well, either way.
Let's clarify there.
A couple other things. What else?
Well, 1 second though. But yeah, with the whole Avatar, like that's a lot of years, and he's old now. I want him to make other movies.
How old is he? Yeah, I guess he takes a lot of time off to like do his own stuff, eh? Like,
yeah, but like he's such a visionary. He's a good writer. He's given us Terminator, Titanic. He had what was the other movie? The Abyss or whatever. It was like one of the first movies to use like special effects.
Okay.
Like computerized special effects. And Avatar, obviously, and now he's just gonna keep going with Avatar.
Well, Avatar was Avatar was in pre-production for literally like 20 years.
Yeah, because the technology and the budget, like
wasn't there. He's like, I can't make this movie now. I'm gonna wait 20 years and I make this movie.
You have to film these actors with all this stuff on them and green screens and all that stuff, and then transfer all over that and 3D map them and all this stuff.
And then
it's
like
crazy.
all the CG stuff, like the space stuff.
Yeah, and so now he wants to make 3 more movies. Like I thought it was cool. He's going to explore the seas of Pandora, like because he loves deep sea like exploration. That's fine, but like 3 more, like come on.
Yeah, but what if he doesn't direct all those movies? What if he just like kind of says like, this is my vision.
I don't know.
Make these movies. I'm gonna go do something.
I think this is like his baby. I think he wanted to make this like a long ass time ago.
Yeah, and he says like he's like, I have the script and ideas for this movie
like decades ago.
Yeah, and I didn't have the technology to make it.
Yeah,
and so I've been waiting to make this movie for like 20 years.
Yeah, and the movie like itself, it has the classic hero and like the Pocahontas thing.
Yeah, it was a little bit.
Yeah,
like,
so you can tell it's old, but the archetype of it is classic. But yeah, I just want him to do more stuff. I really do. I want him to write different, cooler, maybe like a sci-fi, like a space sci-fi.
Isn't that like what a lot of people are saying about the guy who wrote Godfather and
Francis Ford Coppola?
Yeah,
but
who directed like he
did Apocalypse Now.
Okay,
and he did Godfather trilogy, but. I mean,
he had didn't he have like a bunch of scripts stolen and stuff?
I actually don't know too much about him, but
he's like a little bit of a recluse. I think he would like hide away, but he didn't make that many movies.
I guess not, but yeah,
it's a similar idea.
Every director, I want them to just not do too many sequels. This is a bit too much. This is four Avatar movies in total.
Okay.
Like that's too much.
What if so you have Whedon on for Avengers 1 and 2, and he's overseeing Marvel. Mm-hmm. How long does he stay on in that role?
The thing is, he's perfect for that role, and right now superhero movies are like the most exciting thing.
Yeah, so
I don't want him to just go off and write an original TV show or sci-fi movie. I want these superheroes that I grew up and love to exist.
But you said you want to see directors do different things. He's doing
no, but I just said I don't want him. Right now, I want these superheroes to live, to exist, to flourish in the movie world.
So do I. But
he's perfect for that.
You're just saying.
No, it's not against at all. He's perfect for that. I don't want. I don't really care about whatever else he made before. I'm not too huge on Firefly or Dollhouse. Like I don't need any more of those little original.
I'm assuming you like Buffy. Pretty much everyone loves Buffy.
But like I'm not looking. I don't have an itch to scratch for him to go and make a new cult hit or whatever. I want him to make these characters that I grew up with.
But I think now after Avengers, I don't think he's ever going to go back and make cult hits again. I mean, I think he's big enough now. The next movie he makes would be another blockbuster type movie.
Maybe, but he's one of those guys who likes to write really original niche things that everyone likes.
That's true. He also likes like strong female characters.
So just to say, I'm not going back in my argument. I'm just saying he's perfect for that, and that's what I want.
I was to see him make a Wonder Woman movie.
Whereas James Cameron, he's made these movies that are
so different
from
each other.
Big though, like they're massive universes within each other, right? And Terminator is so classic, and that's like
Aliens
one of her
movies.
Too, didn't
he? Right?
Yeah, he did Aliens, the sequel, which revolutionized that whole series.
Yeah.
So, just to have him, to me, Avatar is exciting and great, but it's not that exciting. Like I've seen the world already.
Yeah.
Now he's going to explore the sea, and like what else is there to
sky?
Show me?
Like what have we done there already?
More monsters or more plant life? Like
well, maybe you explore more of like the Earth side of it. Like we only saw Earth for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, I'm not saying he can't. I'll probably be surprised at what he does. What I'm saying is that these characters, like Thor, all these characters that I grew up and
so
love,
much that you can do
there's
with
more for them to do and for the world to see. And Joss Whedon is the perfect person to expand on that and make it, viewable to every type of audience.
Like the fact,
and in the perfect right way, exactly.
The fact that Avengers was so good is a direct result of Joss Whedon and his ability to write dialogue.
If someone else wrote it, would have been. I don't think it would have been as good.
Yeah.
But I guess that's easy to say, but
no, you can say that because you can go look at his prior work and his writing ability, his dialogue is so tight is like.
So that's why I don't see him do anything else right now. He's perfect for that, and James Cameron, he's perfect to do other things right now, not just stay on Avatar. So let's get move on from that.
So Jamie Foxx wants to play Spawn.
I think that's kind of whatever. I mean, Michael Jai White, he's the one who plays original Spawn,
yeah,
and he was good. He's not a great actor, but now he's playing Jackson. Like, those.
Do you really need to be a good actor to play Spawn?
Not really, I guess. But I mean, if you got to reboot it now, right? So it'd have to be like that's a dark character. That's a dark, violent character. So I mean, Jamie Foxx could play that.
That's another callback to when comics were selling billions of copies, and that was Spawn was in that time.
Image.
Yeah.
But yeah, Michael J. White, he's playing Jack. Like, all he's doing is Jax. In those Kombat, like online webisodes or whatever.
People want him to play T'Challa.
Who's T'Challa?
Black Panther.
Oh, Black Panther. Yeah, that'd be cool.
There's another Bourne movie in the works with Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy Renner again. Yeah, I didn't like that movie. I liked it. I thought it was cool. Like, it had a lot of references to the first movie. I thought, like, how he's kind of a
Jason Bourne. Well, Jason Bourne.
No, not references to the first movie. I mean, like, in terms of
like how it felt.
Yeah, like how he was alone, kind of didn't really understand these other people in his program and the pills and whatnot.
Yeah,
like in the forest, whatever, the winter.
That part was cool.
That was awesome.
And he faced the wolves.
Yeah, and that other like guy who like they kind of like talking to each other. They don't know. Like, they could kill each other at any moment.
Yeah.
And then that bomb, they're gonna get
missile.
Yeah, the missile like, destroys them all, whatever. So, but I don't know. I'd rather just see Jason Bourne's story again rather than what's his name. Something Webb or something.
I don't even know. That doesn't speak very well about
Alex Cross. I think it is.
Okay, but either way, no, it's like it doesn't matter because Webb was like the name of Bourne's actual name. Yeah.
Which I guess they don't even call him that now. They're still
he's just Jason Bourne. But like that doesn't even matter because like that trilogy of the original Jason Bourne movies was so good.
Yeah,
and it changed how. Like you see an action movie like that way that
political
that fighting,
action thriller movie,
and that like that fighting style has been like that's you don't have Taken and Taken 2 unless you have the Bourne movies.
No,
you don't like
the first Bourne movie was pretty big. It was good, and I think the second one was better because they brought in a director who like kind of really emphasized that fighting style,
and they took away the shaky cam wasn't as much as involved anymore.
He brought the shaky. No.
The shaky cam. Other way around?
Yeah, the other way around. The new director brought the shaky cam in, but everyone. I think it fit in that universe with the whole...
the second and third were tied closer together.
Yeah, very tied closer. Like even the third movie, the last scene is like
the first scene of the third movie.
No, the last scene of the second movie.
What?
Yeah,
the last really scene weird. Of the second movie.
The whole second movie happens, right?
Yeah.
And then, like he's like has a sniper rifle. And he's talking to that lady.
Yeah.
That scene happens at the end
of the third movie.
So it's like the beginning of the third movie happens before the end of the second movie. I don't know. It's kind of...
It's weird. Okay.
Yeah, it's really... And like the end of the second movie, the very last thing you see, though, is Jason Bourne with a knapsack.
Yeah.
Walking down New York City or whatever, right? And then it fades away, right? And then in that exact scene where he has a knapsack in the third movie is something crucial he has in that backpack, and he's doing something.
Okay.
So I thought that was cool how they kind of tied that together. But also, it was a little weird.
That sweet song at the end.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, and Matt Damon doing Elysium now. He looks pretty badass in that.
Man,
why he's old now, but he can come back. And,
it doesn't matter. The point is he's a super spy.
I think he looked kind of old and kind of fat in the third movie. But whatever.
People didn't like the third movie because it was beat for beat the same movie as the second, and that's what a lot of people say. And you could probably, and they said that people did the second movie better. It's like this. They essentially the same movie. The second one was better.
I agree with that to a certain extent. I didn't like the third movie. I love the second movie. It's my favorite one.
Yeah, it's so good.
But
the car chases are unparalleled.
The third movie was him finding. It's always that classic trope when you find out your origin.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay. Like
now
you
what?
Found everything else. Like Wolverine Origins or whatever. Yeah. You want to keep that kind of air of mystery on the character.
There's nothing now. What else?
You want to kind of go after. But when they did it, like the third movie, they filmed those flashback scenes with his
the training
current self.
Oh yeah, okay.
So he looked all old and stuff. So to me, that it's kind of like it breaks the fourth wall or whatever. Like I don't understand why they didn't film these certain scenes.
Well, because they probably didn't have a plan for that.
They probably didn't have a plan. That's fine, but. The third movie, it was good, but not as good as the first two. The first two, like he was like in Europe the whole time, and like he was so different. Good. Now he comes back to New York.
The whole thing with like the first two is like the places he was in was almost its like own character on its own. Like he was in like Budapest and Paris and London.
And the people he met, and the girl he met had a relationship with.
Exactly.
She carried over the second one. She got killed. All that stuff. Like
that whole thing, like so well done. And like they did like you have the second movie and he's like on that rooftop and he's talking to the girl and then it's like just look like out the window or whatever, like she's on your left. Or whatever, and they did that exact same scene in the third movie. He's like, I'm in your office. It's like, you know what I mean?
And then I remember Jimmy Kimmel made fun of it too.
Yimi?
Yeah. Yay, son.
Yay, son born.
Paul Greengrass is the director, by the way. For the second and third, I think.
Okay, and he didn't come. He didn't come back to redo the new one.
No, I don't think he did. But they kind of took that style as well.
Okay, so we can move off from movies. So Batman Arkham Origins has multiplayer, 3 versus 3 versus 2. So I was gonna say this before we started recording, and I saved it. Is that I like this idea for Batman multiplayer. It makes perfect sense to me because if it was just Batman versus villains, it's so like the way the levels are set up. It's like how do you hide? It's like there's no way you could do it.
How does Batman hide?
Yeah, like how do you do it as you? But
well,
if
the thing is, the villains can't. Can they scale buildings like Batman?
No, they can't. But if you have something else to worry about, you have another 3 people to worry about. Yeah. The fact that Batman and Robin are around isn't your main focus anymore. That allows you to be able to move around without being seen more easily. You know what I mean? I like that.
Because they have guns and Batman don't. So yeah.
So you're fighting not only them, Batman and Robin, you're also fighting
on the ground level. You have to watch out for people with guns who can kill you.
Exactly.
And you got to watch for the air and whatever Batman and Robin can do.
And you can, as Batman, it looks like you can do like the
glide down,
takedowns, and like different traps, like out of the grates or whatever.
Yeah, because Batman and Robin are more of a stealthy type thing, whereas on the ground, I guess everyone has guns and whatnot.
Yeah, so it's like the idea is that they take these main villains or whatever, pick their 3 best guys to go and fight or whatever. I don't know. It's kind of like a loose.
I think it makes sense. They probably actually started out with 3 versus 2.
Yeah.
And then you know what? Let's throw another team on the ground and maybe even later another one.
Well, because they probably started with 3 versus 2 and thinking like this doesn't work. It's like it's too easy as the 3 or it's too hard.
But then we got to see if it's even balanced, right? Because what if the 3 versus 3 on the ground, like it's harder for them because they're fighting each other and they got to worry about.
Yeah, that's why. But then what makes it fun.
I'm saying that's cool. But then when you're playing as Batman and Robin, then what if it's just easier for you because you can just hide, watch them fight, and pick your strikes, right? You can throw a smoke bomb down there.
Yeah, but I'm guessing that's what makes you feel like Batman.
Yeah,
you're watching these people doing this thing, and you come in and you take out all these guys.
I just hope it's not super easy.
I'm assuming because you're playing against actual people. It
or
can't be that easy.
Is, then there's like a rotation type of thing.
Yeah, like everyone gets to be Batman at like one point.
But yeah, that makes sense, and also it's just a new take on multiplayer having. Different teams like that.
Was it like actual footage or like is it like third person shooting or is it like first person on the ground?
I can't remember that.
It must be third person, so you can kind of see behind you a little bit or whatever.
But when the 3 guys on the ground, you're the actual villains, right? You're Deathstroke.
No. You're just like 3 thugs versus 3 thugs.
So it's not. Yeah. It's not like the cool villains.
No.
Oh, okay.
So
I thought it was actually, but I guess whatever.
No, so it's 3 thugs, which makes it more like Batman just taking on guys, like you do in the actual.
But then what about all the villains they've made?
Playing as Deathstroke and all that kind
of stuff. All the villains that are playable are in the game.
But maybe there's a different mode, like a challenge mode. There is. It's probably challenge mode stuff.
But it would be cool to have unleash those on the city multiplayer as well.
That would be cool, and I'm sure you could. I'm sure what's the difference really?
Because then what's the sniper guy called?
Deadshot.
Deadshot could be hiding somewhere and snipe someone. Then you gotta find out where he is.
Maybe there's maybe there's multiple modes. Like it's like supervillains versus superheroes or whatever.
Yeah. So
you have like Nightwing and although is Nightwing in? It's just Robin, right?
I think it's in Robin.
The universe. I don't think.
Not too sure, but.
No. They say Tim Drake is the
Robin. It can't be Nightwing because.
No. The Robin is Tim Drake, so it could be there could be a Nightwing in that universe somewhere.
Yeah, but it's Arkham Origins. It's before he even grew up to become.
Okay, that's true. So maybe the Robin isn't Tim Drake. Maybe it's.
No, it probably is. But I'm just saying, you won't see that skin or whatever. Yeah. Nightwing in it.
Well, you might still get a skin for
skin, but not like
maps.
a full-fledged character in the story or whatever.
Mm-hmm. So there's now a couple other things. The Wii U just sold. They did their conference call because end of their fiscal period or whatever.
Right.
And they sold 160,000 units globally between April and June. 160,000. That's it.
Is that bad?
That's terrible. It's like, no, that's
no one even knows to buy that.
That's the worst. There's literally
that's the worst.
There's really bad. That's like
I haven't heard about this.
The original Wii.
What did they say about it?
The original Wii sold more units during that time.
Hundreds of thousands. Like,
during that time. Now between April and June, more Wiis were sold than Wii U's.
Well, yeah, the Wii in Canada is only $99 though too.
Yeah, I guess. So what did they say about it? It's just that like they were just talking. It was like a conference call about their earnings, right? So they didn't lose as much money as last year, but they only lost so much because the yen was doing really badly.
Right.
So the yen's doing better, so they didn't lose as much, but they took an operating loss on actual like activities. So they're selling video games lost them money in the last quarter.
I thought they said like one video game like gives them a profit of $60 or something, or like. Wasn't that a story a while ago?
There's no way, because you're selling a game for $60. How do you get?
Or not $60. I don't know. I saw a story like one game, like buying one Wii game immediately like is like profitable for the systems like sold or something like that.
Well, because they don't like taking a loss on their systems, so it's like they make money on the system and on the software. A lot of like Sony and like Xbox take a loss on the console and then make up money with buying software and accessories.
Well, what they need to do is just a huge advertising like infusion into the mainstream media, like for Christmas.
So
like they have to.
During that time, 3DS sold 1.4 million.
Yeah, well, 3DS is a machine.
Million.
It's
it's taking off right now.
And the games are coming. Like there's big games coming for it. So.
But like there's always like these bad omens. Like we were just talking about Batman: Arkham Origins multiplayer won't be on the Wii U version. There won't be multiplayer.
A lot of things are cutting from the Wii U version because
they don't have the money to spend.
Well, they see it not selling. They're like, okay, well, let's cut our infrastructure and the budget for that side.
Exactly.
Let's focus more on this than not make this for the Wii because that's not going to sell.
You have an install base with the Xbox and 360 of like,
70 million each.
Of like crazy numbers, right? Yeah. And then you only have what's the install base for the Wii U right now? It's 3.6 million. Yeah. That's it. And
it's
so
a decent number, but like when they say, okay, well,
but the attach rate's tiny,
and people aren't buying stuff for it, so let's not make this part for the
attach rate for the Wii U is less than 1.
Yeah.
So
the thing is, I thought, why can't they just like you make the game and then transfer it over to the Wii or whatever?
That's what even that costs money. So that's what essentially they're like. We don't even have time and money to spend on putting even the multiplayer version in.
Right.
So it's like a circle of like. You don't have the software, so no one's buying the hardware. But like, how do you get the software if no one's buying the hardware?
Is there any big games coming out this Christmas or no?
For the Wii U?
Yeah. Smash Bros. All next.
Wind Waker.
So Smash Bros. America. That's all.
That's all next year.
Yeah. Well,
if next year or longer.
If they had one game
to release,
they could just drop the price and just ads everywhere, like just commercials.
Like when you
put colors on the box or something, make it more.
Change the name. Wii U is not a good name. Change the name. Just like relaunch it entirely. Like this new console.
They needed a 2 on it.
Wii 2, like I understand. Like Wii U, it's like obviously like they're gonna call it Wii 2, and they're like Wii U is so much clever.
Well, they said it's like it's all about you, like because the tablet's like in your hands and it's personal. But no.
Like they need a Mario 3D Mario game that'll sell. They need a Zelda game.
They're all coming.
But not soon enough.
No,
not soon.
They made a mistake. They needed. It was supposed to come out this holiday.
Yeah.
But they pushed it to last, and I'm pretty sure, to get it out before the new systems.
Yeah.
And to get all that money, like new system, everyone.
Yeah, but no one fell for that.
And because they did that, they had to
games
were finished, and they had to make a console that wasn't as powerful as next gen systems.
So because they don't want to take a loss on the system. So you have the same problem that the 3DS had at launch. The sales for the 3DS were really bad at the time of launch. Yeah. But then games started coming out and people started buying it because the games were there. They also dropped the price. Yeah. So you have to drop the price of the Wii U, and you have to release a big game. You need a Zelda game or a Mario game.
Yeah.
Because Metroid doesn't do it. They doesn't sell them, and Donkey Kong doesn't sell consoles for them. Mario and Zelda do.
Yeah.
And Smash Bros. Will. I mean, I'll probably buy, or maybe I won't. Maybe we'll just go to Dan's house and play Smash Bros. At Daniel's house.
I still wanted to get Smash Bros. In the new Mario game. Like we always say, like I'm down for those games. That's their bread and butter. But right now they don't have them.
They're falling back in that same thing where it's just their own games and no one else makes games for them. It's just people buy Wii console or Nintendo consoles to play Nintendo games. And that's it.
But that's the thing. If those games are out now, people buy the console, and then third party people will buy games for it because people have those consoles and think about buying more games.
The
timing's wrong. That's all it is. They don't have those games out.
Well,
no one's
Pikmin
getting the
3
console.
just came out.
Well, that's one. That's
that's not gonna sell.
That's very. That's not a Mario though. They pushed it to be a Mario because Shigeru Miyamoto invented it, but that's also niche. That's like you like that kind of.
But I'm not buying a Wii U to buy.
No, it's not
Pikmin
a huge
3.
exciting action game, right? So.
But I mean, neither is Mario. They're not a huge exciting.
No,
action
I guess
either.
not. But like they're more exciting and fun. Like,
well, I remember when Nintendo was like gonna. I think it was around the same time the Wii was being launched. They were like, we're gonna come up with these new IPs. They're gonna new characters. They never did that.
Really?
Where they're still in the same. They're still using the same characters that have been around since video games started.
Yes, but we've had this conversation a million times. As long as the games are there, people are gonna buy them, and I'm fine with that. But right now they're not here.
Going to,
yeah, but right now they're not here, so we can't say if those don't work.
Okay, so what happens then if a big game, a Zelda game comes out, and that doesn't work?
It will work.
People don't. No, but
100% guaranteed it will sell. Zelda's huge.
Yeah, Zelda will maybe, but it won't sell the right numbers because people won't go out and buy the consoles just to play Zelda. Maybe people will be like, I already bought my PS4 or Xbox One. No. I don't want to buy a new console just to play one game.
Zelda's too big, man. It's too big. When the Zelda is announced and there's a trailer for it and it's like what everyone's always wanted from like a realistic Zelda game, people will go buy the system or they'll price drop it because it is too expensive. It's only $50 less than a PS4 now.
It's $250.
Yeah.
Yeah.
PS4 so they have to drop the price. I don't care what anyone says. It's going to be dropped. Like it has to be.
Yeah.
It's too close to PS4.
Well, I mean, people are rumoring bundles for the PS4 with the Vita.
Yeah, there's gonna be lots of SKUs. I'm pretty sure $399 is just the lowest SKU.
That's fine.
But whatever. Like I'll probably just buy the eye thing. Like after, even though I won't use it.
I won't.
We never know. It could do cool things.
Man, it's not cake. Maybe if it was like so we knew the Kinect is packaged with the Xbox One, right?
Yeah, that's why.
And it does some cool stuff. And but the eye is not gonna do half as much stuff as the Kinect.
It looks like it's a new eye. It has lots more cameras in it. It's got a lot more functions.
They were saying that they removed the eye from it was going to be packaged in.
Yeah, it was going to be packaged in.
Drop the price $100. They took it out.
They took it out to drop the price.
And that's smart. A smart move.
Exactly. So, and they know that people don't want they don't want your iToy or Kinect to be integral to your system. The PS4 is not going to have that. It's not integral. You don't have to have it. So, that's the mistake Microsoft made. Whereas that thing has to be on there for it to work. Pretty sure.
So talking about Xbox One. So last week, me and Dan talked about a couple the accessories for the Xbox One are priced. They're all $10 or $5 more than what the versions are now.
Right, but they have these stupid battery packs or something, right?
Yeah, the charging.
Why did they do the?
I don't know. USB charging ones. I don't know. They like to make money. So they came out this week. Microsoft did and said that the headset, which is proprietary, has to be. They'll have an adapter for the current Xbox headsets. So you don't have to buy. You don't have to buy a new one. You can use your old one.
Well, PS4 it's probably all Bluetooth. So
it's still Bluetooth because they did say that the current headset, like Sony PS3 headset, works.
And PlayStation Move still works PS4.
Yeah, but the PS3 controller doesn't.
Right.
So
that's fine.
Yeah, that's.
I don't want to use that thing anymore anyway.
You're sick of it?
Sick of it, but like the
new one looks
a lot more bigger.
Everyone's saying how tight everything is, just the way the joystick feels is just so tight.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
What else we talk? What else? Oh, so Microsoft I was asking you how to spell Oculus Rift. Right. Microsoft filed a patent for a head-mounted display.
Oh yeah.
If it's anything like everyone's been saying how great the Oculus Rift is,
so they're just getting it on that now.
Maybe. It's a little.
Those look cool. Those look like sunglasses. They look.
I don't know. I would love to have one of those things. It's nuts. Apparently, some of the stuff that you can do with it, even small little things just going through a walk in a park is just encompassing. And it's
but no one says anything bad about it. It's what you want in a virtual reality simulator thing. So
what else? Oh, Square Enix is they're having a shakeup, right? And they're finally changing their philosophies. So they're the ones that own the Tomb Raider series. Tomb Raider has been announced. There will be
Kane and Lynch
and Deus Ex. And obviously the Final Fantasy stuff.
Do you still have Deus Ex?
I do.
Okay.
Why do you want it?
Oh, maybe.
I had to finish it first. I never finished it. It's on my. I didn't trade it in for my credit on my PS4 because I wanted
What did you even trade in?
I traded in a whole bunch of stuff. I even sold
10 games.
Man, a whole bunch. 10 games, I think.
Yeah, but you didn't get 300.
No, because it's not all of them were worth the right amount. It's stupid. I ended up selling. I did on Kijiji sell my NHL 12 for $20 to some guy. He's like, all right.
Where'd you meet him?
He just in the backyard.
Like, there you go.
It was literally a 2-second interaction. Here you go, and left. It was done.
Yeah, pretty sure you could find cheaper than that. Like,
yeah, I don't know. Someone gave $20. You can probably buy
NHL 12
last year's version.
I see a bunch of them in bins at Superstore. Like,
yeah,
$20 for 19 or 15.
He drove here to pick it up and pay me $20 for it.
Oh.
So I'm trying to sell some of my other stuff, some of my Wii stuff in the corner there. My Guitar Hero 3, my Wii Fit, and
I wish I had a Guitar Hero. I
DJ Hero.
You should keep one of the Guitar Heroes.
I have a bunch of Rock Band guitars.
Like the main Guitar Hero or rock Band. Like, it'd be cool to have like.
They still release stuff for it.
I know. I'm saying it'd be cool to have all the songs, so anytime you want, you can just go in there and jam. But you don't do that.
No, I mean, I
think it was a pretty like huge thing.
At the time, huge. I've
but
never owned.
It's even fun if you whip it out at a party though too.
Yeah,
so.
I've never owned Rock Band. I have 2 Rock Band controllers in my back room. This is the kind of stuff that just piles up.
Well,
it's like,
any of those games you want to sell, I'll give you like $20 or whatever.
You want to play LA Noire?
Which one?
LA Noire.
Yeah, you kept it.
Yeah, it's still there.
I might buy that one off you. Deus Ex if you don't want it.
I want to finish Deus Ex.
And what tomorrow? Hitman Absolution's free
on PSN.
Yeah,
fuck, I gotta get that.
I wanted to buy that game. I was gonna pay like the full $67.
Don't have
to. It looks good. Like, it looks really good. That's Square Enix too, isn't it?
Yeah, but they were all considered financial failures because they were expecting them to be a certain amount.
Yeah.
Tomb Raider sold
3 million.
really well, and they were like didn't sell.
It's like 3.5 million, like 2 weeks, which is what The Last of Us sold, and they're like super happy with that.
Yeah, and they're like, nope, not enough.
But again, cut that in half, right? Because it's on both systems, Tomb Raider, whereas The Last of Us only on PS3.
And I'm pretty sure people bought PS3s just to play the Tomb.
Oh, I know people who've done it.
Yeah,
like from work.
They're like, I've got to play this game. Like, wow.
I borrowed it to Zafar, and he said,
I guess.
He's like, thank you for giving me this.
There are certain things. There are certain games that are system sellers. Yeah. That's one of them. Uncharted 2 for me was that. But I mean, I think if I didn't own a PS3 now, I would have gone out and bought one just for. I mean, but it's hard for me to say that
by
because
now you
I love Naughty Dog so much because of the Uncharted stuff.
Yeah.
That I might. It's
but
hard
you
to
like
say.
Indiana Jones and all that stuff, so you would have got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At some point I would have understood how great Uncharted was.
Even when 3 came out, you're like, yeah, I get this.
Yeah. What else? Okay, so I said that a next gen version of Tomb Raider, a sequel, is confirmed. This is good. I like Tomb Raider.
Did you even beat it?
I haven't beat it yet. That's another thing I gotta beat. I'm
about halfway. I haven't even started that one. I want to play it because people keep saying it's like Resident Evil 4 and stuff.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah. What else? Oh, Star Wars Battlefront. So the DICE game.
2015.
2050. Yeah, probably around the same time as the movies is what they're saying.
That's fine. Take your time with it.
That to me sounds like the most like perfect. It's the marriage of all things I love.
Yeah, just can't wait to hear those laser sounds and the TIE fighter like just blowing up.
That's the sound of the TIE fighter. That it's like a scream.
And then the Battlefront. Do they have a single player campaign in those games or?
No, it's more just like it's kind of just like big battles and.
So then, if it is a single player campaign, I hope it's like Rogue Squadron where you just have all those.
You'd be able to fly.
Just the shipment.
I'm sure there'll be levels like that, probably. Yeah.
It's so weird, hey, how we got a game that was like all
just flying
vehicle flying missions. Like that's all you needed though. Like
for Star Wars, like the Rebel, like Rogue Squadron,
Rogue Squadron 2, like Rebel Assault or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that's all you. I know the sequel. I think you could go on foot or something like that. I never played the sequel.
I don't remember. Actually. I remember that the fact that the first level was the
blowing up the Death Star.
The Death Star run is the coolest thing in the world.
You gotta take out some machine guns and you gotta run in there and then
you do the trench run.
Yeah. You gotta do all the major, huge, cool, and then at the end, Millennium Falcon coming out of the whatever. That was hard, like weaving in and out of the
out of the explosion of the Death Star.
Yeah, I think that was the end.
Yeah,
that was hard. That was so hard.
Such a good game though. It's one of those. I remember I had a poster for it from
I still want to buy it. I look on Kijiji every now and then just to see if anyone has both of them for GameCube.
Nothing.
I pick them up one of these days.
And so Rockstar had a little. There's a guy from Rockstar did a little interview saying that they consider some of their franchises to be like continuous and constant. Like Grand Theft Auto is one of them, and they said that Red Dead was another one of them. So we'll probably see another Red Dead.
It's gotta be. Red Dead got Game of the Year. It came out
a couple of years. Not by everyone, but like by a few major places.
Basically, like that's the game that people hold high. Like that's like Red Dead, Last of Us. Like those are up there.
Okay, so but like they've learned a lot from since then.
Yeah.
And there's like a constant thing that everyone says about Red Dead is that if you beat it, it's one of the best games you've ever played.
Yeah.
But everyone stops playing when they get to Mexico.
Yeah. Well, it just dragged out.
Too long.
It's long.
So they can tighten up the story, and if the story was half as good as
people say that, and then people say, you know what? I played this game for 3 hours and I haven't even touched the main story.
Yeah.
I've gone around the field.
It's true.
And picked flowers, skinned animals. Like some of the coolest things that ever happened was some guy just jumped on my horse and ran away and stole it.
Hey! Did you try to shoot him off?
That happened to me, but I didn't get him. But I think I just like...
You like restarted and got your horse back?
Yeah, like so that kind of sucked. But I thought it would be cooler just to like kind of live
walk
without
back
that horse.
to some town or whatever.
Yeah,
but like some of those moments in that game are some like there's the side story. There's this one I've talked about before where it's this mysterious guy that like just appears out of nowhere on the side of the road.
Right.
And you meet him like 3 or 4 times, and that the last time you meet him, you end up talking to spoilers for Red Dead here. Game that came out like 3 years ago, so...
Yeah, don't spoil I didn't beat the end, so don't spoil the end. I already know what happens, though.
Okay, so you know... No, I'm not going to tell you this.
Don't tell me how it happens.
I'm not going to tell you how it happened. I'm just... This one part with this guy. Anyway, so he just appears out of nowhere. He talks in like these weird like riddles and stuff.
Right.
And then the last time you meet him, he's standing on this hill that overlooks your house, like where you actually live. Mm-hmm. At the time when I played it, you don't know that, really.
Right.
And you're standing on this hill and you find out... and again, you know what happens at the end.
That's where you
John
die.
That's your gravesite there. And he turns around and you're about to shoot him, and you shoot him. Nothing happens, and he just disappears.
Cool.
And it's like you're talking like to death essentially.
Sweet.
And it's one of the it's just one of those little things.
That's a side mission before the end of the game.
Yeah, you have to beat that before you play as his son. Yeah, otherwise nothing happens.
That's kind of weird. It's like a superficial type of thing.
It's like it's supernatural.
Yeah, supernatural. Sorry.
Yeah, it's. Like that kind of stuff, like those little touches are great. Obviously, the moments, like I don't want to get into it.
Well, yeah, don't get into it. But also, like even the expansion, the Red Dead Nightmare.
Undead Nightmare.
Yeah, Undead Nightmare.
One of the best expansions ever. Like I've ever played.
I have it digitally, and I bought the case too because it was like $10 somewhere.
Yeah, and like I remember playing like then. This is the best zombie game I've ever played.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna play it in October. I think during Halloween, get in the mood.
We're gonna play. The what's it called? Infamous 2 Festival of Blood or whatever.
I haven't even played Infamous 2 yet.
What? What are you waiting for?
It's so hard, man.
It's so much fun though. God.
So many games.
We talk about this with Dan all the time. Dan, who hates Infamous for no reason, no good reason.
I want to play it, but I want to do it strategically because I platinumed the first one, so I want to platinum the second one as well. But yeah, and Red Dead Next Gen. It'd be interesting to see if they incorporate their L.A. Noire face technology and in the next gen games after GTA 5 and for the next gen systems, if they do that for all their games.
Well, so that studio that did L.A. Noire, I don't know if we talked about this maybe I remember seeing it in the news like maybe a month or 2 ago. Closed. It's from Sydney. Mm-hmm. They closed down. A lot of their people are like obviously the games industry is not that big. Like a lot of those people end up other places. That technology is still owned by Rockstar though.
Right. They still have the set.
It's just such an expensive and time-consuming process that it's like, yes, you could do it.
It can't be that time-consuming.
Well, you literally have to put makeup on people. Like if they're wearing a hat, you have to put the hat on them.
Yeah.
Like they have.
No, I've seen. They showed it in the behind the scenes. There's 15 cameras in front of you. White thing behind you. Whatever.
And you're acting, and then
balls, makeup, and you're acting, and it films everything. But you have to get those actors in there to do the voice acting anyways. Now they're doing the voice acting and the expression.
Well, and then you have like companies like Naughty Dog who do the acting and they're
together.
They're doing the...
That's the thing. It's like Naughty Dog is the best way to do it because they have such talented people who can copy the facial animations of the people with the balls they have already, but also tweak it to do little eyebrow things or whatever, right? And then you have L.A. Noire where they're just sitting there, right? So it's not really...
So it's hard to attach that face to a body that's moving because it doesn't really look right.
Right. And they're not really acting off each other, whereas Last of Us and Naughty Dog, whatever, it's like theater. Yeah. And that's the best type of acting.
So essentially, they have to imagine everything that's around them.
It's theater captured, and then any angle the director chooses.
I think that might be the future of film.
No, for sure.
And if once...
film is basically theater, but you do it multiple takes, and then the camera does all the work.
Yeah.
And And that's what the video gamers are doing now.
No, but imagine being able to literally film a scene, do a scene,
yeah,
get the right dialogue, and everything's right, but then take that shot and move it anywhere you want in the room. Change the time of day. If you don't like, I don't like the time of day. Change the time of day. Move the shot to anywhere in the whole room. That and
they can do certain
detail
things like
that be so precise. You can move it right next to their face, and it would look normal and natural.
Right.
That to me, that's the future. I don't know when that will be, but you can make such great movies that way. I think. And then like news wise, that's pretty much it. Batman Inc. ended this on Wednesday.
Oh yeah,
that was the final episode, and that's episode
book.
The final book in the series, and that
was that number 15 or something
like that. It ends Morrison's run on Batman though, and he's been doing that since like way back.
He did a bunch of things in it, so whatever.
And he was essentially the last vestige.
Killed Robin.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It ended on a cliffhanger, kind of. Like, he left threads for other people to pick up if they want to, but it probably won't be for a long, long time.
Right. So then we're down to Batman book. There's no more Batman
There's
Inc.
no more
book.
Batman Inc. No,
okay.
It's done. So we're down to just Batman, Batman, Dark Knight, and Detective Comics. As well as Batman. Do they have that other one where the guy said, like, the African one?
Yeah, I think that one's still going.
Batwing, Batgirl, Nightwing,
Red Hood.
There's like half the books in DC are just Batman books.
Well, most popular characters, so
I too much. I can't even keep up with it. I want to read some of the stuff that's going on in Dark Knight with like that, like the Wraith or whatever.
Yeah.
But
no, like I pretty much have them all.
I want to go back and read some of those. When I think of Morrison's run, like Batman Rip is what stands out to me the most. I don't know if you've ever read it. I don't know if you have.
I have.
It's like it's Grant Morrison
crazy.
at his finest. Like just so like psychological. Like you have no idea what's going on. You get to read it more than once to figure out what's going on. Oh,
for sure. He's a complicated writer.
And then it has that whole Batman 66 or 666, which was a couple of years ago, and it teased certain things in the future Batman that we didn't see again until the last the Batman annual from not Batman, but like one of the annuals from earlier this year showed the future Batman again. That hasn't been seen for like 2 years.
The future Batman from R.I.P.?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I didn't notice that. I have a couple. I got the Dark Knight annual and whatever. I think
there's the one. I'm not. I think pretty sure it's the Batman Inc. annual, and it's Damian Wayne as Batman.
That must be.
It was not that long ago.
Oh, okay.
It's Damian Wayne as Batman in the future. The whole world is like destroyed. It's like all like zombies everywhere, and like
zombies.
It's essentially zombies.
That makes
everywhere.
sense.
But they tease they teased that in Batman 666, and that was years ago, and they touched on it again.
As Damian as Batman.
As Damian as Batman.
But Damian died.
Yeah.
So what is that?
But at the end of Batman Inc., you have Ra's al Ghul enters this room, and it's full of a bunch of pods with like clones of Damian.
What the frick?
Yeah.
Ra's al Ghul is dead. Like he's alive now. Like I don't even get it.
Ra's al Ghul's still alive. But
he never dies.
But who is dead? Talia got shot in the head.
Oh really?
Yeah. At the end of it.
I haven't been reading Batman.
So yeah, it's kind of the last thing that's alive from the old pre 52 or pre New 52, old 52, whatever. Yeah. That was still felt like that. It kind of tied into what was going on, like Damian dying tied into everything else that was happening, but it still felt separate and different.
Mm-hmm.
If you read like the first run of Batman Inc. and into like
which is only like eight.
Yeah, I have the hardcover and like Leviathan Strikes, which is that one shot that tied everything right before the New 52. So good.
Yeah.
Kind of turned not as good after the New 52 reintroduces Batman Inc. again.
It's not as good.
It's not as good. Because they tried to tie it into what's happening with the New 52, things change. It doesn't make any sense. So, like if they just left it saying this takes place before Flashpoint, if they just put that in the title and just stayed as it was, things would have been great. But,
oh really?
Yeah, it just.
Ra's al Ghul was so badass though.
He always has that stupid mustache.
I can't even believe he was in Batman Begins.
He was in Batman.
Like that's crazy. I can't believe we have him as a villain.
He was not only that.
It's not a stupid mustache.
He was played by a Jedi.
Anyone who has a mustache, you think is stupid. By the way.
No, that's not true. He has like a thin, pointy mustache.
Sinestro, you said was stupid.
His mustache is stupid.
Ra's al Ghul, you said was stupid, and then there's someone else.
I'm sorry, DC can't do good mustaches.
No. You don't know what mustaches.
Marvel doesn't. You don't know anything about dimming lights. All right? Marvel can do facial hair properly.
Liam Neeson as Ra's al Ghul was awesome. So
yeah, he was a Jedi.
There's no no stupid mustache going on there.
Whatever.
He just had the goatee thing with no mustache. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he had the goatee. The mustache in the comic book world is kind of silly.
Yeah, whatever.
He's at that crazy green
I don't think that's a
cape.
big deal.
No, I don't. It's just like one of those silly comic book things that, whatever. And that pretty much is everything. Make sure to check out the site. Still reviewing the new Beware the Batman episodes. There's the one that just came out a couple days ago. It was really good. That had Lady Shiva is teased in it, so make sure to check that out. Our Twitter @TowerBabblecast, Facebook.com/TowerBabblecast. We're on YouTube, Tower of Babblecast. All the episodes will be put up there. I'll have this up there in a couple days, if not by tomorrow. So I'll see you guys next week, episode 11. Stay tuned.